don't harass anyone mentioned in this video. This is just me criticizing someone's opinion in a game they don't like. People can have their own opinions on things, and you are stupid if you harass anyone cause of it.
Dive, that sucks. Okay guys, end the video. Please like and subscribe. Okay though, seriously, why do I just not like Dive that as a game overall? Well, the thing is, it is extremely survivor-sided. The maps are extremely unfun to play against. And not to mention the horrible balance for the killers. As you know, I said this game is survivor-sided. All of the abilities in this game, except adrenaline, are good or overpowered. The best abilities are punch and bonus pad, and sometimes care pad, you know. Bonus pad is not fun to play against. Getting looped against a bonus pad is one of the worst feelings in the entire game. Did I not mention that it can speed the whole team and yourself?
Cause it's a support ability. What the hell did you expect it to do?
A bonus pad makes you faster than all the killers in the game, like Pursue or Harken, etc. Targeting doesn't work either.
How the hell does targeting not work? If you're targeting a bonus pad, they won't be able to build their bonus pad, cause they would be constantly in chase, plus abilities like Stalk and Tangle make it easy to catch up to them.
It doesn't help that most of the teams are either stunners or disruptors like Taunt, Punch, Revolver, and Hot Dog. This causes an extremely miserable gameplay for killers. Carepad is also miserable to go against. As well, getting all your progress deleted by one annoying ass Carepad is such a horrible game designed to play against. You also can't stop them because, you know, all of the abilities in these games are actually amazing at disrupting, except for Cloak, Adrenaline, and Caretaker.
So what you're saying is that you want all survivors to be useless and powerless.
This is the worst game design in every asymmetrical game I've played. At least Elliot doesn't heal 70 HP.
I genuinely hate when people compare other ISIM games to Forsaken. Sure, they play similar, but some of them have different features to fit the game they are playing. If, for example, Elliot was dropped in Die of Death, they would be the most busted survivor ever, as their abilities fit more in Forsaken. Cause their pizza throw could literally make survivors heal mid-chase, making it extremely busted and broken to go against. As that game has designated classes unlike Die of Death, which yes has some ability combos like Carapet and Love Shot are mostly random abilities, meaning you don't know if your deck synergizes with another teammate's deck.
And you have to earn more healing doing objectives. Carepad is just a stupid and unfun ability to play against. Have you ever felt happy seeing a good Carepad? Exactly.
Yeah. They are helping my team and playing well. That's like saying that you hate having a good roommate despite the fact he literally pays your rent as well as doing anything to literally stay afloat. Not to mention Carepad only has 65 HP, meaning they take 4 hits to die, sometimes 3. If you are playing Kildroid or Harken, I'd argue Love Shot is worse to go against, as they can heal themselves by landing a stun and having 10 more HP than Carepad, meaning if they have good aim they can self-heal every 30 seconds as well as stunning the killer. Let's
talk about Punch as well. This is the best delaying ability. Killers close to you, after a minute of you looping them, you just punch, resetting the entire loop. Team getting chased, punch. It's not like these abilities are also guy-like. There are other abilities as well as like block. Block and Hot Dog literally makes Killjoy unplayable.
You can always just bait the block by purposefully aiming close to them but not at them. Plus Hot Dog only gives you 25 max HP, meaning it would take the same amount of hits if you were playing any other killer.
And if you know, Killjoy is the best killer in the entire game.
Fresh.
But gets shut down by these two abilities, which is actually abysmal to me. Bonus Pad and Revolver are also good against Killjoy, but are nowhere as good as Block and Hot Dog. What I'm trying to say is, no matter what ability you'll still get, you'll probably win if you have good pathing and the good looping. You just win the whole game.
This applies to literally any sim game. What are you on about?
Also, a quick little rant about LMS. This game has the most survivor-sided LMS ever. The LMS is so short for how so big of these maps are like Temple. And LMS, the killer has nothing to help them, and the survivor most likely has overpowered abilities, since the killers are probably on the other side of the map.
Plus abilities like Stalk and Tangle make it easy to catch up.
And the survivor for LMS is hiding.
The survivor is always highlighted to the killer. What do you mean always hiding?
This gives them time to set up and build bonus pads and care pads, or maybe just do more. Reload bit, for example. Forsaken has a 10% speed boost, and your stamina does not go down when you're not near a survivor.
Where the hell did you get this information? Nowhere in either wikis does it say the killer gets a 10% speed boost plus no stamina drain. When you rent close to a survivor is literally a part of the killer gameplay even before LMS.
What? That has nothing to assist these killers.
Vigilante shootdown and showtime give Kildroid faster rockets and Artful giving a passive speed boost and 80 more stamina.
Even outside of LMS. This leads to 90% of LMS leading to a survivor dub. Now let's talk about the maps. Short summary for this section: every map in the game is survivor sided except for Tundra Trek, which is, killer sided. Okay, let's pretend that little red line where they put it, that's where we start, and the killer starts chasing us. Then we're gonna go to that little section with the killer door. Then we're gonna go all the way around that map. Then we're gonna go over here where we also have the survivor spot. Then there's gonna be that little ramp in that section. Then we're just gonna go down in when the killer comes. Then we just go all the way back to that little section with the killer door, pretty sure. Yeah. Then we just repeat the process.
You do realize how copyright and Tangle exist, right?
Pop Paradise is the only map as well. Most of the maps just have an extremely weird building design. It just revolves you going to a section, and then when you got the killer, you go to all the way around the map, and then you just loop the killer, then you go all the way back, then you loop the killer, then you go all the way back to the same direction. It's just not a fun map.
You do realize how copyright and Tangle exist.
The maps in this game are so beautiful, but the balancing for the maps are so trash. Tundra Tech is the only, somewhat balanced map, Some of the leaps in this game are actually so unfun. That grandma's backyard loop? Oh my god. Oh. Pursuer can't even catch up to that loop. And Pursuer is, probably the best anti-looper, but he still gets hard countered by that loop. He is a fraud. He gets looped so easily now. It's not even funny. I feel like you get my point, but basically all map is survivor sided except Tundra Trek. All killers suck except for maybe Killjoy and Artful. That's the conclusion. Seriously though, the fact that every killer in the game is slower than a normal civilian except for, Pursuer, which he still sucks as a rushdown killer. Now first we're gonna dive into Pursuer. I like to call Pursuer the worst rushdown killer in any ASIM. He's not good at rushdowning due to his horrible speed for a rushdown killer and his overall mediocre kit.
It's literally the starter killer. Of course it's somewhat mediocre or basic, as it has to be simple to learn and easy to use.
The only good thing in Pursuer's catalog is Howl and Stalk.
So basically his entire kit.
Cleave is overall very inconsistent because if you miss, you get heavily punished by a mediocre result. You can probably get 2 M1s in, then actually landing a cleave. Howl is actually a good ability, but it is so useless out in the open and is not really that viable against loops. It's basically just a mediocre ability.
Because you have to use it when the survivor is at either low stamina or literally right in front of you.
Sure, it helps out with loops, but if there's a bonus pad, it basically does nothing. Stalk is probably the best thing on his kit. It's a great early game tool to, get closer to the survivors and pressure them. But because of the Pursuer nerfs, Stalk is nothing as viable as it once was. You can basically win against Pursuer without using any abilities.
You can literally do that with any sim killer with good speed and stamina management.
But the absolute best ability to use against him is bonus pad and dash. It is so sad how Pursuer became one of the best killers to one of the most garbage killers in all of ASIM. Now let's talk about Badware. I consider this the most unfun killer to play as. Badware is just a really bad, unfun killer to play, and not to mention very inconsistent. And first off, I want to say, this is not how a snowballer should be. If most people in the team have an IQ over 5, you're gonna have a very difficult time getting kills. I'm gonna compare Badware to an actual good snowballer, Sixer.
I am gonna just skip this part, as he's gonna go on about how Forsaken better and die of death bad. Sixer can easily get looped without Bloodhound or Infernal Cry, while Badware's computers last indefinitely, unless they get destroyed.
Why use bolts if Rift is a better movement option? Why use bolts if, Rift has a speed boost?
Cause people use it to deal damage to survivors and not catch up to them.
I actually think using 2 M1s and actually hitting the survivor is better than a max bolt.
A max bolt does 40 damage, while 2 M1s deal the exact same of 40. I'd argue a max bolt is better, as it gives you a speed boost, and while it's sometimes inconsistent, it's very easy to hit survivors up close with it.
The only reason why bolt is somewhat useful is because of base plate, and you can knock the survivors in the water. Move firewall bypass. Oh, the worst designed ability in all of ASIM.
But what the hell?
This is such a stupid and bad ability design. It's not even a funny joke to, joke about. Badware is an extremely situational killer, and not to mention how unfunny he is, not gonna lie. Who actually mains Badware? I haven't seen a Badware main in a long time. Counter Badware, just get a caretaker, care pad, and that's it. You just win the round if you have those characters. Artful is one of the best killers in the game. Now let's talk about Harkin, which is one of the most inconsistent killers in the game. Do you notice a pattern here? Every killer is really inconsistent.
If they were all consistent, then they would be the most busted killers to ever exist. Since you like comparing Forsaken to Die of Death, I am gonna do the exact same. John Doe and 1x1 are the most inconsistent killers in Forsaken, but if they were consistent, then they would wipe every lobby they would be in, so that's why the devs made them slightly inconsistent to balance it out.
In Harkin's calm mode, a little baby, but in Harkin's enraged mode, that's basically raps. Looping a calm Harkin is one of the easiest things in the game, but looping an enraged Harkin, you're basically better off without looping.
That doesn't sound like inconsistency. That just sounds like you explaining how Harkin works.
Harkin is known as the pub stomper, but once you go against the 2 people in the match that have, over 10 brain cells, you basically kind of lose. Harkin is really a really bad designed killer. If a killer's mechanic relies on the player entirely, that is not good game design. That is absolutely horrible game design. Harkin's 2 main ability that make her actually viable are just range, so it's just constantly a gamble. But Harkin has one big weakness, her health. Harkin has 400 health, meaning if you just get 4 revolvers, you're just so done.
That's because she's meant to be a glass cannon. She's weak at defending herself but is great at attacking and damaging survivors.
No, and there's no stacking nerfs in this game. People will say it's just a skill issue, but there's literally nothing you can do about this.
That's because she's meant to be a glass cannon.
It's just all luck in this game. For Harkin, you just need damage abilities. For example, like revolver, punch, bonus pad, and maybe even dash.
I swear to God, all of this guy's arguments, when it comes to going against a killer, are just use bonus pad to beat every killer.
Block is also good, but it does cause some noise though. Now let's talk about Killjoy, the best killer in the game. They get shut down by Block and Hot Dog. That's it. They actually do. If you go against the hot dog, you just lose the entire game.
Plus hot dog only gives you 25 max HP, meaning it would take the same amount of hits if you were playing any other killer.
Now we're gonna shut down some valid criticism. People like to say, Dive Death is a joke game, Dive Death is a joke game. Well, the upcoming update is basically to make it not as a joke game, an actual serious game.
I still don't get why people keep saying Die of Death is turning into a serious game. They are literally adding golf as a game mode. What are you on about?
Now, even if it is a joke game, that is not a valid defense because I can still criticize this game however I want to. People like to say, well, at least the game is fun. Well, hot take, I actually don't find this game fun. I find Forsaken funner. Get the pitchforks, I don't get to get the pitchfork. But seriously, imagine being a killer and everybody has like the most broken abilities ever. There's no stacking nerfs to compensate, and if you're killer, you just don't know what characters they're gonna get. Basically, they can get really characters, but they can get really good characters. It's just a gamble for luck.
Congrats, you found out how the survivors work.
The stacking nerfs is the worst part of this game. You just miss an ability and basically every stunner in the game just comes rushing towards you to give you a stun. Basically, miss an ability, punch. Use an ability correctly, but you still, you're still stalled, punch. Revolver. Basically, there's no stacking nerfs in the game.
This also applies to Forsaken. If you, for example, miss a walk speed override, or when Slasher uses M1 after Raging Pace, they can get stunned by a Shedletsky or Chance. You act like this is only a Die of Death problem, when this also happens in Forsaken cause Die of Death doesn't have a main objective unlike Forsaken's generators, as you have to either fight the killer or support your team.
This is the biggest flaw of the entire game. Oh, but the map events keep it, consistent and fun. The map events, or the, game modes, they've been going on for a year now. I don't think playing the same 6 game modes is fun anymore.
It gives variety, plus it's a fun way to break the usual formula.
I can't force myself to laugh because a pursuer died by the big ball. I just can't do that. If a game is bad, the game is bad. But seriously, what are some things I actually like of Die of Death? I do like that the survivalist abilities are probably the worst in the game. It does, make people want to choose the other abilities like stunners and supports. But the thing is, the stunners and supports are overpowered.
Take Cool Kid's moveset, change nothing about it, new character.